Welcome to Elevate the Game, where DFW's top leaders drop gems on success, strategy, and legacy with your hosts, Jorge Abreu and Eric Badiwala. Let's get into it.
Today, we welcome Valerie Freeman, an industry leader in staffing and workforce solutions behind Bravo Tech, Freeman Leonard, and Answer Team. Her firm supports companies nationwide with technology, marketing, and creative talent through innovative recruiting, managed services, and outsourcing models. We're going to explore how her approach is reshaping how organizations build and scale teams. So thank you for being on, Valerie. And if you could just give us a quick snapshot of your businesses and what you do exactly.
Sure. Well, I'm the founder and CEO of two of those businesses, and then the third one, the Answer Team, I started with two other people and a group of investors, and it's a national managed service company that uses technology. We don't really fill any jobs in that business. We use technology for all the back end sorts of operations. But anyway, I started in this business in 1982. And started with one company, and since then I've built a number of companies, including the ones I have now, and it's been great. I've enjoyed being an entrepreneur. Before that, I was a college professor, so I did make that transition, and I'm so glad that I did. But today, it's a talent, finding the right talent, managing the right way is just so critical to any business that wants to grow.
Yeah, I mean, I've always said the hardest thing about owning a business is hiring the right team and
Yes.
just everything that has to go with having employees. So the fact that your business is based around that's amazing.
Well, I've learned a lot over all these years about hiring people. So
Nice. So I'm sure there's a lot of competition in that space. I know when I looking for someone, I get a lot of recruiters coming to me. So what sets you guys apart from the rest?
well, I think part of it has to do with our team who've been with us for a very long time. And that's one reason. And the fact that we've been around for a long time, and we really pride ourselves on good service and really getting to know our clients as well as we can. And that really, it sounds easy, but it's not easy at all. And in this business, you lose clients, you gain clients. You've got candidates who do the right thing and those that do the wrong thing, and you got to figure out how to make your client happy in the end. And so we've been really good at that and really refining our processes and the way we deal with issues through all these years, and it's paid off for us.
Nice. What would you say one thing that maybe comes easy to you that others find very challenging?
Nothing comes easy. However, I think part of it is I'm a big networker. I like to meet people. I like to hear their stories. And a lot of people don't, even business owners. Some of them don't really like networking, and I do. And it's really helped me a lot because I'm out and about all the time. I feel like I'm the face of the business, and I need to be out and about. And the things that I used to do in the past when I first started the business, I don't have to do those anymore because I have great people doing them. And so I can do the out and about sorts of things and spread the word about our company. So that's been one thing that I feel like has really been an advantage. But it takes a lot of time and effort. When you go to things morning, noon, and night, and you have to have that smiley face on the whole time and be engaging, and sometimes that's difficult.
Yeah, that one definitely resonates with me. I am one of those that does not like to network, even though a lot of my business revolves around that, and I must do it.
Yes.
It takes a lot of energy out of me for sure, just to get out there and do it. But the fact that you find it easy, I'm jealous. But if someone is listening to us right now that wants to get better at building out this team and their company, what's one thing you suggest that they can do?
Well, certainly over time, you get better at weeding out applicants for your job, and you need different people at different times too. So as you're growing, sometimes the people that you had in the beginning are not the people you need as you grow, and that's very difficult. It's so difficult to say to someone that's been there a while since the beginning that it's time to move on. And I would say that that's something you have to be able to do. You have to have the hard conversations, and I have to say I'm not the best at that. I mean, I know I have to do it. I don't know if anybody's good at that, really. But it's something that you really need to do. What really propels a business forward are your people. And then it follows behind that with your processes and all of the other things that go into running a business. But the people really make it go. And so part of that is hiring right and firing when you need to, and continuing to build your team and continuing to manage that team in a way that makes the people glad that they're there to work for you. And I have to say that, in the beginning, I was working very hard. I have to say, really, really hard, all day, every day, week after week. And I expected my employees to do that too. Well, that isn't going to be happening. So I had to learn to be a lot more empathetic and really understand, where they're coming from and what motivates them or what makes them happy. And to do that with a whole group of people is not an easy task. So over the years, I've had to learn that, and and then I've really talked to other people about it. How do you do that, and what's the best way to make people happy with their jobs, but yet make them productive? Some people come to work with a great work ethic, and you don't have to do anything with them. You just pat them on the back. And then others, that's not the case. And you have to decide, if they're worth keeping, then, you've got to live with some of their problems, really. And so, that's really, I think all of us entrepreneurs would say that hiring and managing talent is our biggest situation. I mean, that's it.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, and I had to learn as well that you really need to get to learn your team, and not everybody's driven the same way, right? Not everybody just wants more money or whatnot. Took me a while to figure that one out, but
me too.
yeah. What's maybe one of the biggest challenges you've had over the years, and how you were able to overcome it?
Well, I've been through the ups and downs of the economy, every downturn that I've been through, including COVID, has been a challenge. And now, today, after all these years, I finally figured out that, this stuff's going to happen. I cannot change it. I can figure out what to do to get over it, but I can't change it. And so why am I getting all upset about this when it is what it is? And so the first thing we do when there's a downturn is we look at, okay, how can we either cut cost or manage our clients or get new clients or do something? What are the things we can do to overcome this and until it gets better? So I feel like I've gotten to where I'm not stressed out anymore like I used to be, because I know this too shall pass. Eventually companies like last year was really, it was a challenge last year with technology. A lot of companies weren't hiring, the interest rates were high, the tariffs were terrible, and so on and so on. But I know things are going to change. They are. I mean, companies are not going to sit there and do nothing forever. They've got to get off square one and start growing again and start investing in their technology, especially AI and all the things that are going on now. So I just tell people, be patient. You have to learn to be patient and figure out things you can do, along the way that would make things better. But you need to understand that things are going to change in every industry. Really, you're in real estate, right? Well, you know what that's
Yep.
like. There's
Yep.
downturns there, and
Yeah, I was going to mention that. It's funny how everybody seems to forget, right? This is my since owning my business in real estate, my second downturn, maybe third if you want to count whatever happened during COVID. Um, but yeah, everybody forgets on the upcycle, right? Everybody
yeah,
completely forgets that hey, there's gonna be a down cycle at some
right,
point. It
yes.
always
Yeah, I
happens.
mean, you look at that rocket ride of the stock market at times, and you know it's not going to last, and it's going to come
Yeah.
down, and it's going to go up and come down and go up. But over the long term, the stock market has just, it's just been a rocket ride, slowly, but it is from
Yep.
the time I started in business. And so I remember going through a real estate bust, and our real estate clients didn't have any business for us, and we had to figure something else out. What
Yeah.
industry is doing well? Everybody, in every downturn, there's somebody doing well and somebody not doing well. So,
Yeah, yeah, that's another thing. I mean, I think you have to be as a business owner, you've got to have some flexibility, right? And you got to adjust with the market you're in. And when you don't, I mean,
right.
yeah.
And you really need to sort of be ahead of the curve on some things.
Yeah.
And for example, even before COVID hit, our folks were technology enabled, and they were working from home, and they were working from anywhere. And so when COVID hit, we were fine in terms of being able to adjust to um, the fact that everybody was at home. And we even had to help our clients get computers in their employees' homes and help them set them up and do all that kind of stuff to get ready. But but fortunately, we were pretty much prepared for that. And the same goes for AI. Right now, I wouldn't say we're on the leading edge of AI, and we're not for sure, but we're learning about it, and we're developing our use cases, and we're not going to be left behind. We
Yeah.
may not be on the bleeding edge, but we're not going to be on the back end of it either.
Yeah. So you try to lean into it versus kind of
Yeah.
just backing off, which yeah, I agree. Okay, well, it sounds like you've done some amazing things with your businesses. I guess, outside of investing in your own companies, have you looked at anything outside of that, any passive income? Whether we talked a little bit about stocks or bonds or equities. Is there anything that you're doing there?
Um, not really. Of course, I think I told you I have this other business called Prime Women Media, which is a business I started with some other women over the age of 50. We have a podcast, and we've raised in the beginning. We did raise money, and so we have a website and a YouTube channel, and then our podcast. And so we're looking to perhaps get a TV network
Wow.
going. We do have a contract with one of the big TV networks, but we have to raise the money now to do the programming, and that's where the money. It's a lot of money to produce TV shows. So we'll see where that's going. I've looked at different companies to invest in, but quite honestly, um, I'm at the age where I don't know that I want that risk. I think I've just put my money in a money market and be done. I don't know. I do think, though, that more women, I have to say this, more women should invest in women-owned companies because, there a lot of women are really philanthropic, and they're giving their money to these nonprofits that are certainly deserving and need help. But what if they invested in women-owned firms, and then everybody, hopefully, if they're successful, will get more money to invest in philanthropic things? So it's been an uphill battle, quite honestly, and so that's something that I'm working on with some other of my friends, trying to get more women to understand investing in companies, and especially women-led companies or women-owned companies, because it's so difficult for women to raise money in the capital markets.
Interesting. Yeah, I do know of some women groups that for instance, I also own a construction company, and I know there's a women group that's women in construction. I forget the
Mhm.
exact name, but I mean they support each other quite a bit. And yeah, I agree that would be not a lot of women in commercial real estate and what we do. Um,
Right.
but yeah.
Yep.
Okay, well, you might have answered this already, but usually when I'm wrapping up the interview, I ask if you got any exciting plans or initiatives in the next 6 to 12 months. I know you mentioned the possible TV network and all
Mhm.
that, but is there anything else?
I would say that for the technology companies, uh, what's going to happen to us in the next year is the exploration of artificial intelligence and how that can help us grow faster and better. And of course, in the Prime Women, our podcast is going well, so we're going to continue on that and continue to monetize that, and then start looking for money for the TV network. So those are the things I'm concentrating on, and in between that, I'm trying to go somewhere. We just got back from Africa. We were in Africa for a
Oh,
couple of
wow.
weeks, and one of my favorite places in the world is Africa and all the countries there. It's just nothing like here. It's so different. But anyway, so certainly travel is part of the plan. Because I've been working really hard for all these years, and I just feel like it's time for me to my husband and I to travel before we
Nice.
get to where we can't do it anymore.
Nice, nice. Okay, Valerie, thank you so much for the time today and sharing your insights and tips. If people want to connect with you, what's the easiest way for them to do that?
We'll be through LinkedIn.
Okay. Find you on
Um,
LinkedIn.
oh yeah, I'm all over LinkedIn. I'm a big social media person. I mean, I like to post a lot of what's happening. So yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn.
Nice, nice. So make sure you find Valerie on LinkedIn. Thank you very much once again. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening to Elevate the Game. If you're a mover and shaker in DFW with game to share, apply to be a guest at elevatethegamepodcast.com/guest.